white guy from New Jersey. That's the reason why. Hey everyone, man, it's cold here in Sydney right now. But yeah, so this is the first edition of breaking down my Samoan heritage. A lot of people ask me, you don't look like a Samoan guy, but I thought I'd just break down the heritage to kind of tell why. And yeah, so this is my dad's part. Okay, so my dad, his Samoan side, I'm gonna break down his Samoan side first, and then I'll break down the Balangi side after, the white side. Okay, so my dad's mom comes from Lango, Sawa'i. She left Lango at a very young age, and she didn't return there for probably 60 something years later, from what I remember. Very long time. But yeah, so that's my dad's like Samoan blood on that line. My dad's mom is full Samoan. Now my dad's dad, my grandpa, he's like white, but like a quarter Samoan, like a little bit of Samoan. Okay, so my dad's dad is a white American guy by the name of David Stout Parker, and he comes from a place called Forked River, New Jersey, in the eastern part of the United States. New Jersey is next to New York, just to make it easy of where that is. Now my dad's mom is half Samoan, half English, and her name was Matilda Hunt. And if you recognize the surname Hunt, you know, from famous sports stars like Mark Hunt, Carmichael Hunt, yeah, that's our connection, the Parker family's connection to the Hunts, through my great-grandmother. My great-grandmother Matilda Hunt, right? Her mum, so my great-great-grandmother on that side, um, uh, she comes from, like historically, she comes from Falelakai, right? She was the daughter of, a chief. If you know the family, Gui Maleali Whanu, from Falelakai. Sorry, I'm getting confused right now. It's too many nuances to the story. But yeah, so my dad's mum is from Sava'i. She's full-blooded Samoan. My dad's dad is like a quarter Samoan, and the rest is white, right? Okay, now my dad's dad, the American guy from New Jersey, his story is kind of very deep, like deeply layered. He went out to sea. He comes from a historically his family, they were known for hospitality in the hotel industry and the shipping industry. Yeah, so he came out. He went to sea at in his early 20s. He first comes to Australia at a place called Forbes in New South Wales during the gold rush. Apparently, I don't know how true this is, but it's in an article that I read, and kind of based on his timeline and where he ended up, I believe it to be true. He came for the gold rush. There's nothing. He doesn't hit any gold, because at this time it's right at the end of that whole thing. So he then leaves Australia again, just goes to sea, ends up first in Mangaya in the Cook Islands, one of the islands, Mangaya, I think that's how you pronounce it. He gets attacked. Him and his shipmates get attacked by Cook Islanders there. Most of them get massacred. He survives with some other guys. Another ship coming past that's headed for Samoa, he gets saved by those guys. He then goes on to Samoa. He apprentices under this German firm that teach him, how to teach him the trade, in exporting and stuff like that. He meets the lady that I mentioned before, my great-grandmother Matilda Hunt. David Stout Parker was actually married to her older sister, first, and I'll get into how that happens later. But Yeah, so he marries that sister, Phoebe Hunt is her name. Um, at this time, he goes on, he makes his wealth. Um, Phoebe dies, right? The woman dies. They don't have any kids. She dies, and then it was the custom for like the sister-in-law to marry, like the husband back then. I don't know why that is. I haven't looked it up, but they end up marrying and they have like 6 kids. My great grandfather David Stout Parker, he's known as being the first millionaire in Samoa during that time. Um, that goes largely unnoticed because you got to remember those people, like those, he came there in like 1860s. The first crop of like white like settlers they were the ones that kind of like laid the foundation for everything to come after. So it's not largely known, those stories. Um, yeah, so he marries a sister, right, Matilda Hunt, who's my great grandmother, and they have 6 kids. And the 4th kid is my grandpa, then comes my dad, and then comes me. So yeah, if you're still with me, that's basically my dad's side. Um, very European. Uh, um, the Samoan side is very kind of, I don't know much about my grandma, like my dad's mum's Samoan side. I've only been to Savai'i one time. Um, and my dad's Samoan side, like the real Samoan side, it's kind of distant. Like it's because generationally, as each generation goes there, you kind of like lose it. Um, Both my parents kind of grew up there, town people. They're from Apia, right? So yeah, that's my dad's side, man. Here's another part of it that I just forgot. I just remember now. Like, so my grandpa, right? My grandpa, my dad's dad, in the in the mid to late 20s, he's actually living in San Francisco. And if you remember, if you know your history, San Francisco in the 20s, I think this is across the United States. The Great Depression is happening, right? There's, it's like it's kind of like similar to what we're going through now with, like everything's expensive, people losing jobs. But I don't know the magnitude of the Great Depression, like if you compare it to today. But he was actually married at one point to a woman from El Salvador. And he had 2 kids in San Francisco. Whatever happened there, I think like they came to Samoa to visit, and like he missed Samoa, or he just wanted to move back because, you got like my grandfather, I'm sure like him growing up, they're a family of wealth. They come from a family of wealth. So him working a normal job, like in where I'm sure it's like, he's like, I don't want to really do this shit. You know what I mean? At least that's how I would be if that was me. But he comes back to Samoa to visit his family and his mom and that, and then they go back, and he's like, man, maybe we should move back. He tells the wife, right? He tells the wife like this. He's like,
hey, maybe we should move back. Like, I don't really like it here. Like, I miss some more.
and then the wife's like,
I'm not going back there. Like, I want to stay here. We got kids we need to raise. I don't want to go back to that island.
yeah. Then like she's not down with her, right? And then I actually seen like back then, if you file for divorce, it's actually in the newspaper. Like people can see that you're getting a divorce. It's not private. I don't know how deep the story is, but he makes his way back to Samoa, my grandpa, right? Leaving his wife and his 2 kids there. He misses Samoa, he wants to come back. He meets my grandma, right? She and her auntie are working for the old lady Matilda. So then they they get together. Here comes like, how many? There's like nine kids, right? 9 kids. My dad's the youngest boy. He's the second youngest out of that union. So yeah, man, there's a lot of great tales from my family history. Very multi-layered stories. But yeah, that's the story of my Samoan side from my dad's side. Wait for the next video, which I'm gonna drop my mum's story, and that's gonna be even harder to understand. Man, I'm confused telling this story so many times. But But yeah, thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.